North Korea is sending a warning to its enemies with the highest and longest test of an intercontinental ballistic missile ever. This is the first time in almost a year the North has launched a missile designed to threaten the U.S. mainland. The move comes as North Korea further inflames tensions with the West by sending thousands of troops to help Russia's war against Ukraine. Earlier at a meeting with his South Korean counterpart in Washington, Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke about the North's support of Vladimir Putin.
We now assess that there are some 10,000 North Korean soldiers in total in Russia. Russia has been training DPRK soldiers in artillery, UAVs, basic infantry operations, including trench clearing, indicating that they fully intend to use these forces in frontline operations.
CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata joins us now with more from the Pentagon. Charlie, this seems like something North Korea does every few years, but how significant is this latest launch considering its power, its distance, and its deployment of troops in Russia potentially to help in Ukraine?
Yeah, well, Errol, as you said, this is the longest distance and longest duration of any North Korean missile yet. Japanese and South Korean authorities were tracking it. They showed it was launched vertically, almost straight up, so it wouldn't reach any territories when it came down. Flew for 86 minutes to an altitude of more than 4,300 miles. That far exceeds previous launches. The last test was actually back in December. As you said, it happens regularly, frequently. They've been gaining in reach, but some analysts believe they might be trying to develop a weapon that can carry a larger warhead. As always, as you pointed out, with North Korea, you have to look at the timing, right? So not only is a South Korean delegation here in D.C., they were meeting at the Pentagon, here at the Pentagon yesterday, and the State Department today, but it's no coincidence this launch took place within days of the U.S. elections.
When it comes to North Korea sending troops to Russia to potentially help in its war in Ukraine, is it right to call that a type of game changer? Because analysts I've been speaking with have described it as something that China will have at least been aware of and tacitly approved. And as such, it would be a real counterbalance to Western force. What do you make of it?
Well, officials here, South Korean and American officials, say they are leaning on China to do something. They're the only country with any sort of leverage.
Right.
But defense officials that I've spoken to here said, in terms of what sort of impact or game changer, depends on what they're there to do. It's not a lot in terms of numbers. We pointed that out. It's been pointed out that Russians lose 1,200 casualties in one bad day. But we have been told they've been suited up with Russian uniforms. They're carrying Russian equipment and weapons, and they're headed to the Kursk Oblast. And that's the area where the Ukrainians seized Russian territory over the summer. So Secretary of State Antony Blinken said today, and this is a number, he said 8,000 are already in the Kursk Oblast. That's a lot more than were previously estimated. He said they received training on Russian artillery, drones, and trench clearing. The defense secretary says he believes they are preparing for combat roles. The other question, this is a big one, is this just 10,000 troops or the first 10,000 troops? Because one thing North Korea has got plenty of is manpower, 1.2 million in a standing army. That's the second largest army in the world.
And so considering what you've just laid out, that they are positioned there for war, there very well could be North Korean deaths in Ukraine defending Russia. How is the U.S. and allies in Europe responding to these dual actions from North Korea?
Well, the defense secretary said there will be North Korean deaths if they fight. First of all, both the United States and South Korea have called on China to step in, as I mentioned, saying that kind of missile development, first of all, threatens the whole region, and it's about the only country that holds some influence. I mean, they've said today that the launch violates all kind of UN Security Council resolutions. Not that that matters. The U.S. and a number of allies have requested a Security Council meeting on Monday, but that hasn't held much sway, as you know, in the past. As for the North Korean troops, look, both the state and the Pentagon warned if they go in there to fight, they will be treated as co-belligerents. The Ukrainians can use whatever weaponry they've been provided with, and that includes U.S. weapons. Austin said the North Korean soldiers won't last long, is how he put it. And Blinken said they're entering Putin's war that is a meat grinder of his own making.
All right, Charlie D'Agata with an eye-opener of a report there. Charlie, thank you.
Thanks, Errol.